Hello, good evening. It's roughly 12:30 at night. Kind of my first chance to get on and record something. And what I'm going to show off is how to export from Unreal Engine into Blender, modify things, and bring it back in without losing your skeletal mesh. One of the issues you might have if you are trying to do this already is you export, make changes, even if it's just a retexture, bring it back in and it just messes up everything animation wise. We don't want that. Anyway, over the past few days I've been trying to work out how to do this and kind of nailed it a little. I'm mostly using the Synty Studios polygon models, which I'll just open one of those up now. So I'm going to go into my folder. I've preloaded the package. I've got my Atom starter pack, I've got my Paragon Aurora, I've got my polygon textures, and I'm just using the third person template as the starting point. So if I jump into characters, some pretty cool models, and I'm going to pick on one I haven't used yet. So let's just go with the beard, which I assume is meant to be barred. So what he looks like is this. He's got a mustache, mutton chops, feather in his cap, usual fare. So to start, all we want to do is right click on our beard, maybe that's his name, go down to Asset Actions, hit Export, and I've already got a place to save this, and let's rename it to Bard, just so we know what we're working with. These are the options I use, so normally that might be suppressed. I'm using FBX 2013, Vertex Color on, Level of Detail on, Collision on, and Map Skeletal Motion to Root on. Now, we're not really doing animation in this video, but it does come up later, so that's what works for me. Hit Export, that's done. Next, I want to bring him up, find that, so we've got our materials. Let's export one of the textures just so we can see it in Blender, and we're good to go. I think I've already done that one previously, so it's just popped over it. And before I get too deep into it, I want to show you one little thing that can happen. So I've got my little notes there, don't worry about those. I'm going to pull in that bard into here, import him again. So these are the settings I use. I've made sure to turn off the import meshes in bone from both here and here. I usually use the use T0 as ref pose, though at the moment when you don't have animations, so it's not a big issue. Just using the same skeleton that was already there. Import. So I've got a few little things here. If I pull him across here, he's all white. So what that tells us, that's because I imported the textures. So that's what he looks like. But you might see a difference here. So this is our newly imported one, and here is our original. So you can see it's been smoothed out. Could be something you want. It kind of looks cool, but to really match what you've got elsewhere, we'll have to change that too. So I'm just going to close that, delete the new one, delete that. Actually, we don't need to delete the bard because we can just use a re-import. What I want to do though is open it up in Blender, using Blender 2.8. So I'll just do a brand new, which presents no change. Delete this default cube, to import FBX, go to where I saved the bard. There he is. Right, so the thing that you saw, actually we won't go with that, we'll go first with just getting this ready to import back in. So when you pull it into Blender, these things get named a certain way. This first one, which doesn't have the 001, we want to rename to armature, so, and the second one we want to rename to bard. Right, so here's to export that now with all three selected, so that's armature, root and bard. That would come through fine. But we do want to make changes too. So what I'm going to do is split the viewport. I'm going to change the second one to UV editor, so I'm going to go open file, go back to the folder where we are, open this, it's our Synty Studios texture pack. Now you can see that's not using that yet because on the Blender side we haven't told it yet to do so. So we go to the Materials tab, go to Base Color, choose Image Texture, from under there, from the browse, choose the image, and there he is. Right, and then if I were to go into edit mode and also then switch to faces, which you can do Control 3. He's not quite there yet either because over here we're not yet in UV edit mode, so if I change to UV edit, now I can see all these black dots represent where exactly a texture is being pulled from. So every face is just a single colour. If I were to use that, select it, drag around, we can give him a little bit of green there. That's an awkward way to do it though, because as you can see, every time you select something, you need to then choose what you've got here, move things around. It's not great. What you can instead do is use this option up here, click that, and then you've got your dots there all the time. So if we want to make him green, I forget what colour we were, I think we're in that point, yeah. One thing I sometimes like to do is with these guys, check if they actually have a hat that's stitched to their head or if it's actually a separate hat. So he kind of looks like it's part of his head. So you can also just delete and look inside. No, he's got an empty head, I think. All empty all the way down. But that's okay, we don't need that right now. One thing you might be tempted to do though is make this beard a bit longer, or turn it into an actual beard instead. So what you might try is press G, move down, and oh wait a sec, it's not bringing things with it. Because, I mean, technically that wouldn't work anyway, because there's no influence sphere happening there, but what you'll notice is, when I move away, it's not joined everywhere. So, if you do want to do things like modify the mesh a little bit with these particular ones, you want to go up to the proportional editing, switch it on to projected, hit G, and then you want to also modify your proportional radius, so using page down because it's just quicker. And when I do that, you can see that's not great, but you know, maybe it's better down here. you could do other things if you wanted to. Some of the other models that they have do have full heads with there, so you could easily take it off and then stitch it all up. But for now we'll just keep the bard as he is, but you know what, these colours not doing it for me. So that's going to get some, it's got a feather in his cap which looks like it's, I'm not sure which one it is, it's one of these ones, okay, it's all these. It's golden feather, and see here it's selected. Let's go with a nice bright blue. Let's make the stem a lighter colour, in fact. It doesn't differ enough, so let's go darker. It's more of a pen, I guess. Okay, we've got our vest. Nah, not that colour. Let's go with a nice purple vest. Now, with these particular ones, if you are modifying a Synty one, these are the colours that change according to the different textures that you can choose within there. So, where I chose one of them, I chose this. If I chose one of the other ones, you'd get a different look slightly. But what you'll find is these colours all around here will stay the same. I don't think this top area is really used. I think that's a relic from the Knights pack that I'm using the fantasy characters. But I could easily just go, oh, you know what, he needs a fancier. It's got green. Yeah, green probably doesn't work. His hat and little area like that could be different. And these aren't really amazing changes. One thing you might find though, if you had a higher sphere at the moment, you would have to disable proportional lighting to get that through. Right, so here's a belt that's always going to be brownish. Let's make that a fancy one. That's not fancy. Looks like silver. Let's use all these fancy bits. Hey, you know what? We can make him have gloves instead. So, rather than trying to select that, it's probably easier. You know what? It doesn't matter. It's not really the purpose. Anyway, the last thing I want to do just before we try to export back to Unreal is hit all the faces, hit W, shade flat. That will solve your curvature of the model. Right. Switch back. You know what? I like to save these as blends too. So you know what, we should use the actual name that we used, just that way it imports better. Sorry, a little pedantic there. Alright, so we've got our character, we've got our root and our armature. Go File, Export to FBX. we'll send it there because that's where we don't need the old one. I'm going to choose selected objects, we're going to go to geometry, choose faces, go to armatures, remove leaf bones, and export. Now, if I open him up now, so still curved because we haven't re-imported. Hit re-import, and there we go. And you'll see he looks different with all this. His skeleton's using the same skeleton that we had originally. He's not pulling in the... We didn't re-import with textures again because we'd already just re-imported the mesh through here. And there we go. And that just creates a little bit of variety. So we could easily put him next door to him, and then there's a glam up for you. That's pretty much it.